cross of ashes on the forehead, an invitation to humility and a new beginning. Ash Wednesday is a day that unites millions of Christians around the world in an ancestral gesture. But what is the story behind this symbol? Where does his strength come from, and why it still resonates in such a modern world? Today, let's dive into a tradition that spans centuries, connecting past and present, death and rebirth. Since ancient times, the ashes carry a deep meaning. For the Jews, they were symbols of mourning, repentance, and the transience of life. In the book of Job, the ashes represent what is passing. In Genesis, Abraham recognizes, "I am dust and ash." 2 Samuel. Tamar covers his head with ashes after a tragedy. And in Isaiah, they are replaced by an ornament of joy for those who turn to God. The first Christians inherited this gesture, turning it into a symbol of conversion. Writers like Tertullian and Augustine of Hippo already mentioned the ashes as part of penitential rituals. But it was in the 4th century, at the Council of Nicaea, that the Church formalized Lent, 40 days of preparation for Easter, inspired by the fasting of Jesus in the desert. Ash Wednesday emerged as the gateway to this period, marking the beginning of a spiritual journey. But where does this ash come from? They are made from the burning of the branches on the previous year's Palm Sunday, a poetic link between Christ's triumph in Jerusalem and his passion. In the 6th century, Pope Gregory I encouraged its use as a sign of humility, but it was only in the 8th century that the Ash Wednesday was consolidated as the official beginning of Lent. During the Mass, the celebrant draws a cross on the forehead of the faithful with the words, "Remember that you are dust, and to the dust you will become," or "Convert and believe in the gospel." The first sentence confronts us with finitude, the second with hope. It is a contrast that defines Lent. We are fragile but able to be reborn. Ash Wednesday is not just a Catholic ritual. Anglicans and Lutherans have adopted the practice, thanks to the ecumenical movement. In Brazil, the day gains strength after Carnival. Crowded churches receive faithful in search of reflection on the 3 pillars of Lent. Fast, prayer, and charity are more than obligations. They are ways to make room for the essential. Fasting is not about hunger, but about prioritizing the spiritual. Pray is to hear the voice that the world stifles. Giving is to recognize in the neighbor the face of Christ. And projects like the Fraternity Campaign transform charity into social action, uniting faith and justice. The ashes remind us, everything passes. Bodies age, days end, material things wear out. But this fragility is not a failure, it is an invitation. As Jesus says in Luke chapter 12 verse 20, "Foolish, this same night they will ask for your life." The true wealth is in that which does not corrupt. Love, faith, gestures that echo in eternity. Lent challenges us to leave behind what moves us away from God and carry what brings us closer to Him. It is not about guilt, but about conscience. We are dust, but a dust that God shapes with purpose. Ash Wednesday is not an end, but a beginning, a journey of 40 days that takes us from humility to resurrection. That we may carry not only ashes on our foreheads, but the lightness of those who know how to make the passenger eternal. What do you want to leave behind? And what do you want to be reborn in? The answer may be in these ashes. which, in their simplicity, keep the secret of life that overcomes death.